I'm making a motion to make face masks optional for parents and students in pre-K through 12 starting tomorrow.
I've been thinking for a few days about what I wanted to say here. And guys, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There's a lot of things that run through my mind when I leave school board meetings and that when I'm in school board meetings that you guys wouldn't like me a whole lot if I verbalized. You wouldn't. I don't care about a mask. I don't care about folks that are hardcore for it and hardcore against it. I'm going to be brutally honest. On the list of things that I'm worried about every day, whether my 2 third graders and my 5th grader have to put a mask on is about number 10,000. If we vote to not wear masks, I'll be happy as a clam. If we vote to wear masks, little Will and Libby Kay and Luke are going to be told by their dad tomorrow, put your mask on and go to school. And they ain't going to question it. I'm so tired of mask drama. And that's all it is. Surely we're tougher than this. I got parents with not enough to do calling me espousing, because everybody's an expert now. Something else, I've expressed this to a few people. It's comical to me how many people don't mind standing at that podium and telling everybody else how it ought to be and what it ought to look like after their 2 hours of surfing the internet. I won't go so far as to say the conversation is absurd because I love passion, but I will agree with the fact that I'm going to be extremely disappointed when all the folks that are in this room that are passionate about a mask, I won't see or hear from them for my next 3 years on this board. When it comes time to make a real decision that's going to impact children and their futures and families for opportunity, none of these folks are going to be here. I'll mark it down. You ain't going to be here. You're not going to be here. Now, I also want to remind you all, and I've said this numerous times, that I'm about operating with consistency and integrity. And I'm going to remind you that in January, this board passed, and nobody held a gun to your head, passed unanimously a resolution to say, it is not in our purview or in our lane to manage or operate the school system. We hire somebody for that. And it was giddy when it was time to go back to school. And they have had us in school more days. And you want to talk about parental choice and option, parents have had more options for how to get material and how to have their child educated than anybody else. Now what bothers me is that now, with 8 days, because I'm going to tell you something, before we vote, we're going to do something with this resolution. Because I'm not going to have my integrity put on the line to say, well, that didn't really matter. We'll just wipe our noses with that because we can get 5 votes and do what we want. That's cronyism is what that is. We can line our 5 votes up and we can get what we want. Now, we can have the vote, and I'm going to go either way because I don't care. I don't care. I can't believe I don't care. But before we vote, all of you guys are going to back out of a resolution that you agreed on. And then we'll go back to nobody really knows who's doing what. We're supposed to be governing and not managing, but only when we feel like it.
Can I ask a question, Joe?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means no matter what happens, if he said he wanted everybody thought that you keep them running down the hall, they put a pebble in their shoe and they run down the hall, and we'd say, okay, that sounds great, Dr. Johnson. Yeah, we can do that.
If
you know, I'm trying to understand. Are we never to question anything?
No, ma'am, we are not. But until someone gives you the benefit, or until they give you a reason to not give them the benefit of a doubt, I don't go around questioning people when they've shown me they've done a job. It's the same thing when I worked in the school system, and one of the reasons why I don't work there anymore, when I had to go down 20 years ago and sign a book, just like a kid, to check out of school and go get me a Subway sandwich. I want to be treated like a professional. Give me the benefit of the doubt until I give you a reason not to. I'm speaking for myself. Dr. Johnson has not given me a reason since he's been here for me to doubt his integrity, his character, and his intention. Now, if there's something amongst you all that I don't know about, then maybe that would be evidence to the reason to go, we don't need to follow someone who's led pretty well so far. Now, this has nothing to do with him. It's nothing to do with him. I'm telling you, again, I want to see the level of intensity and passion about what we're doing from here on out on stuff. And I'm going to say it, guys, and you can get as mad as you want. Stuff that really matters. Stuff that matters. I'm tired of hearing about filthy masks. They've been filthy for 8 months if they're filthy. Surely we can get through 8 days. Surely we can get through 8 days. Now, again, I don't care. But it's comical to me. It's comical to me.
Well, there's a couple of things, Joe. First of all, we had the COVID task force and we were following all the protocols. Then we did away with it. When we did away with it, that changed a lot of things.
Did away with the task force. Did away with
the
operational
phasing.
plan.
About the same thing. I mean, that's what they came up with.
Not the same thing.
Well, okay, we did away with the
same
phases. We did away with the phases. That changed everything. Okay, we did away with it. Then what? We didn't have any discussions about what would happen from this and that and the other. He's the one who came up and said we'd do away with the mask.
What I'm saying, Ms. Thurman, I hear what you're saying.
Okay, well, why do we even come to board meetings? Why don't we just say, you just do whatever you want, and that is fine
Because we
with
have
us.
duties. We have duties. We have
That's fine
duties.
with us. Well, hey.
We have duties. This ain't one of them. This ain't one of them.
Well, see, you see your role differently than I do. I think it's one of mine. Sorry.
It's not one of them. So
Well,
again, I
to me
don't
it is.
care. Listen.